Welcome back to the Psychology of Intimacy. I'm Dr. Cohen. This is episode 13 of 14, Differentiation, Intimacy Without Losing Yourself. Across this series, we're building one big idea together, that intimacy is not a thing you either have or don't, but a process you build. If you're joining mid-series, you're welcome here, but you'll get the most out of today if you think of it as one piece of a larger picture we're assembling episode by episode. We've arrived at the most sophisticated idea in our series, and it's one that quietly overturns an assumption most of us never knew we were holding. The assumption is this, that intimacy means merging, becoming one, dissolving the boundary between two people until there's no daylight left. It sounds romantic, and according to one of the most interesting thinkers in this field, it's also a recipe for intimacy's slow suffocation. Today we talk about differentiation. The concept comes most influentially from David Schnarch, who built much of his work on intimacy around it. Differentiation is the capacity to be deeply connected to another person while remaining a distinct self. It's the ability to stay close without losing your own center, to be near someone's strong emotions without being swept away by them, and to hold on to who you are even when the person you love wants you to be someone slightly different. Contrast two ways of being close. The first is fusion. In fusion, two people are so emotionally merged that they can't tolerate real difference between them. One person's anxiety instantly becomes the other's. Disagreement feels like a threat to the bond itself, so it gets smoothed over, avoided, or fought about desperately. Fusion masquerades as deep closeness, but it's actually a kind of mutual dependence in which neither person can fully be themselves. The second way is differentiation. Differentiated partners can hold on to themselves while staying connected. They can let their partner be different, hold a different opinion, a different mood, a different need without experiencing it as abandonment or attack. Here's the part that reframes everything we've done. Schnarch argued that real intimacy actually requires differentiation rather than fusion. Think about why. To truly disclose yourself, episode 2, you have to have a self to disclose, distinct enough to be worth revealing. To be genuinely vulnerable, episode 9, you have to risk being seen as you actually are, not dissolve into who your partner wants. And remember the desire paradox from episode 6. Desire needs a little distance, a partner who remains a separate, intriguing person. Differentiation is the deep structure underneath all of it. The more solidly you can be yourself, the more you actually have to offer another person, and the more real the meeting between you becomes. Schnarch made a striking observation about long relationships, that they are, among other things, machines for growing us up, what he called a people-growing process. The friction of staying close to someone over years, while remaining yourself, forces a kind of maturation. Every time you hold on to your own center, instead of either collapsing into your partner or controlling them, you become a little more differentiated, a little more capable of the very intimacy you want. The relationship doesn't just demand a grown-up self, it builds one. And notice how gracefully this gathers up the whole series. The attachment security we want isn't the security of fusion, it's the security of two solid selves who choose each other. The communication we practice requires a self clear enough to know and say what it actually wants. The shame we work against is, in part, the fear that our real and separate self is unacceptable. Differentiation is the thread running through all of it. You do not have to disappear to be close. In fact, the more fully you can remain yourself, the more deeply you can be known. So here is the capstone takeaway. Intimacy is not the merging of two people into one, it's the meeting of two whole selves who stay whole. The goal isn't to lose yourself in another person, it's to become solid enough to be truly known by them. As you reflect this week, ask where you tend to disappear into others and where you might hold your own center a little more. Next episode, we bring the entire series together.